Hello, Garrett here from Tutor I Hardly Know Her, and I want to thank all of our patrons who have decided to help support us in this podcast. Your patronage really goes a long way in helping make this podcast bigger and better and just wonderful. And we thank you and all of our listeners out there for your support and love for this podcast. So without further ado, here are the patrons who have donated $5 or more and get the special shout out at the beginning. Samantha Martin, Tiffany Anderson. Tiffany. Is that the same Tiffany? I don't know. Melissa S. Jackie Moore. Philip Nako, Emily Blomer, Rhiannon Jepson, Taylor McHarg, Carolyn Ingrid, and Catherine Denny. If we missed anybody, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yell at me later. I love you. Now on with the show.
Good evening, boys and ghouls. It's time for Boo-dor. I hardly boo her. And that's how we start the episode.
Okay, well, I vote Garrett does every episode from now on.
Jesus.
You okay there, champ?
Not what I was expecting.
I've been thinking about this all week.
And you came up with a goofy laugh? Go.
It's like a creepily ghoulish.
Goofy could be creepy ghoulish.
I mean, it is
Yeah.
creepy if you're in a dark room and that's all you hear. Go.
I mean, how often does Pennywise laugh like? He's like, Anyway, hey, welcome to Tutor I Hardly Knew Her or Know Her.
Boo-dor, I hardly knew her.
I'm your ghoulish host with the most, Garrett.
I'm your bitchy witch host, Emily. I don't know.
I thought you were going to say bitchy wife.
Also, yes.
You're just
Depends on who
arguing
you're
with
talking to. And then there's...
I'm the master of ceremonies. I'm sorry.
That was very good.
That was good.
Yeah, everyone, round of applause for Jeff. If you're listening at home, clap for Jeff.
If you're in your car, just let go of the wheel, start clapping. If you're at work, make everybody think something amazing happened.
Just stand up in the middle of your office
Stand
and
up.
clapping.
And say bravo.
If you're on public transportation, even better. Look, let's
Anyway.
be honest. Not the weirdest thing to do on public
Just
transportation.
don't do it in prison. That'd be really weird.
If people are listening to this goddamn podcast in prison, please let us know.
We want a whole episode all about you, sir, ma'am, whoever, they. I don't care what you are.
Anyway, this is, as you may have guessed, our Halloween episode. And I love it so goddamn much. And we're going to do things a little bit different here in Tutoring Land.
Oh,
Because
what?
What is the one thing that has remained consistent in every episode? What is it?
Our
Emily
lack of knowledge.
has an annoying voice.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, we're really
All those things are true.
self-deprecating.
That's what it is. That's consistent. We're self-deprecating.
Self-deprecation. Yes.
Mostly self-deprecation. That's what I do, just not on the podcast. So every episode, Emily is the one teaching us things. But today, for this episode, I put the work in. I did the research.
It is going to be interesting.
It
Because
it only took him 3 years to research.
I know, right? And I got 3 pages in a Google Doc, so I feel pretty fucking good about it.
Damn, son.
Now, are we talking about 12 font and double spacing or single font, like 11?
Bitch, this is Arial 11.
Shit.
Oh my god. I turned you off.
Throw
turned
that
it
phone
off.
across the room.
I turned it off.
It's
It
haunted.
off. It was
'cause
on
it's
mute.
scary.
No,
God.
I put it on pleasure mode.
the scariest thing about this podcast is what I'm going to do to Emily if she doesn't turn the goddamn phone off.
Well, the scariest thing in the world is if everything turned to wood.
The scariest thing in the world would be if Sinbad was given another TV show.
Ah!
Let's get spooked. Garrett, scare me.
Freakazoid is my favorite.
It's a good show. Everybody watch Freakazoid.
So I actually have 2 haunted places that I want to talk about today. The first one is Hampton Court Palace, which we've talked about a little bit in the past. We're going to revisit a little bit about that, as well as talk about some other stuff in Hampton Court Palace that is scary. Now, for everything today, and I'm sorry, let me backtrack. Hampton Court Palace, and then after that, we're going to talk a little bit about hauntings at the Tower of London.
Ooh.
Now, I wanted to give my sources for this episode because,
Garrett, stop trying to show me up. My source is always Wikipedia.
Hold on. So our sources for this episode, thank you to hrp.org.uk, which is an entire website about Hampton Royal Palace, onthetudortrail.com.
I love that site.
It was good. It was very, very good research.
Damn it, you're showing me up, man. Now I'm going to
http://www.englishmonarchs.co.uk/tower_london_6.html.
Motherfucker's getting precise.
You sound like the
I
captain
was
from
just-
Brooklyn Nine-Nine. http://www.
And then I have a question mark inside of a box, and then a question mark inside of a box.
Next up, we have the-line-up.com, talking about the Tower of London. And, of course, as always, Wikipedia.
I mean, Wikipedia at least cites things on there. You can go from there.
Wikipedia, shout out.
Look,
Shout out to Wikipedia.
When I was in high school and they told us Wikipedia was not a good resource, they were fucking wrong. They were just pissed that those teachers had to do even more work than what we had to do with internet. So, yeah.
So anyway, let's get on to what we
Please
have
cut
for the
that.
Hampton. What?
I told Jeff to cut that.
He may not. That's the scariest part of all.
Okay.
Anyway,
Spook
let's
me.
get started. So let's start with a brief history of Hampton Royal Court Palace. Court Royal Palace? Whatever. Doesn't matter. Owned by Cardinal Wolsey, whose goal was to make the finest palace in all of England by spending approximately 200,000 crowns to renovate and build up this property. I don't remember how much 200,000 crowns is. I looked. I couldn't exactly find it.
I
Do you
don't
know, Emily?
Off the top of my head.
A lot of fucking money.
A lot of fucking money. Let's see what the internet has to say.
I mean, it's no none such.
Oh, no, it is not a none
Well,
such.
what could be? Now, Colonel Wolsey began building up on Hampton Court Palace in 1514, and he had the property only up until 1528, when he gifted it to Henry because everyone was turning against Wolsey. And he was like, well, maybe if I give this palace to Henry, be a little bit nicer to me. And it didn't work.
I got this great gift for you. I'm sure you'll love it.
Please.
Please don't chop my head off.
So within 6 months of owning it, Henry was like, fuck, this is my place now, so let's remodel it. Make it, more like what I want.
Let's make it my summer home.
So a lot of things happened with Henry at Hampton Court Palace, what I keep saying royal. Anyway, doesn't matter. And 2 major things with his wives. One of them, which I think we talked about before, but we're going to do it again. Have you guys heard about the Haunted Gallery?
I think so, but
Are we talking about like series of art, or are we talking about like a space?
I think it's just a space. Just
I thought when you said space, I thought like Elon Musk, NASA.
Space.
Wow. Now, we all know that Henry learned about his 5th wife, Catherine Howard, correct?
Yes. Duh,
Yes.
you got it.
When he found out about Catherine Howard, maybe doing a little runaround on him and their marriage, she was came forth. She was going to be locked up and killed. Legend has it that Catherine Howard, while being apprehended by Henry's soldiers and guards and whatnot, she escaped and ran screaming down the halls in Hampton Court Palace. But she never made it to him. She wanted to go explain to him, like, hey, baby, it's all a misunderstanding. It's okay, baby. I still love you.
You're still mine.
she never made it.
Forgive me.
However, to this day, they say that area, which is now known as the Haunted Gallery, is haunted by Catherine Howard's ghost.
Just constantly running and going, Henry!
She fucking
is
hates
exactly it.
exercise too.
That is exactly it. People have reported seeing her screaming down the hallways trying to find Henry, and then just never making it to where he was. By the way, the Haunted Gallery is the most cliched name you can give to anything that's haunted.
Yeah, I feel like it needs a cooler name. What could we call that? The haunted hallway. That sounds like
The
a
Banshee's Hallway.
The haunted hallway.
game. Welcome to the haunted hallway.
Eh,
Haunted Hallway.
No.
it's just the hallway that's haunted. Nothing else in this whole place. It's
I
weird.
It's just
Now-
like this 10-foot path. It's weird.
It just gets really
actually-
cold at night.
Can you
It's
wait?
actually
Wait,
just
wait,
like
wait.
just like
Can
a
you
mudroom.
imagine? Can you imagine if there was a haunting like this, but in a normal house, say my house, and there was a haunted hallway? It would be like 10 feet from one bedroom to the other.
Barely.
3 steps and you're there.
It's just a square of 4x4.
You're
It's
like,
just a quick ah.
is that the floor again? No, it's the house settling.
It's the Haunted Gallery.
The damn inconvenient ghost.
Inconvenient ghost, you bitch.
Isn't that movie an inconvenient ghost? Anyway, back to the story. Now, on top of Catherine Howard being seen running down the hallways and screaming for Henry, in 1999, during some tours of the Hampton Court Palace, in the span of an hour during 2 separate tours, 2 female guests with no relation to each other fainted at the exact same spot on the tour.
Oh, Henry. Oh.
Now,
Oh,
both
my.
women understandably scared and shaken, and one of them decided that she was not going to finish the tour. She was too scared.
Okay, but why did she faint?
No one knows. But they fainted in the
blood
exact
sugar.
same spot in the Haunted Gallery.
At the same time?
I
Like
Within
these
an hour.
women besties next to each other?
Within an hour.
No, these were in
within an hour,
two separate
sorry.
tours.
Spoopy.
Yeah.
There was just an asshole clubbing people.
Bonk.
On
Oh,
the
they're-
head.
Their audience plants. Like
Yeah.
magicians have.
Ooh. Garrett, that's ruining the magic of ghosts.
Sorry, that doesn't happen.
Stop it,
Now,
Penn and Teller.
according to one of the sources on the TudorTrail.com, other guests have reported sudden drops in temperatures, their hair being pulled, and even spooky spectral hands wrapping around one guest's neck.
I just want a hug.
Not in this era.
It's like, God, you're so beautiful. Just right here.
No, the ghost is just into autoerotic asphyxiation. That's
I
how
don't, I
it
don't get the
died.
strangling, though. Like, if it's haunted by the ghost of Catherine Howard, who's just scared shitless, running down a hallway going, eep. Why is she trying to strangle people?
So that's kind of why I feel like
I'm just thinking of like really bad special effects. Like when E.T. see him running, it's just him on a skateboard. You just see like Catherine Howard
There's
just
Catherine Howard on a skateboard.
Yee.
I don't imagine the special effects are that good. I imagine it's more like Mac and me.
Okay, wait. Okay, wait. But this is kind of why I feel like ghosts maybe aren't real-ish. Like,
Ghosts aren't real, but
my lust for blood is. But
50% of this podcast is in jokes between Jeff and Emily.
dude, we've been married for way too long and together even longer, so we speak in nothing but inside jokes.
We've been married for 5 years, but we've only been dating for 4. Wait.
It's weird. No, okay.
Sounds like
wait.
a King Henry relationship
Hold
right
on.
there.
No, what I'm saying is, though, I think ghosts can exist, but I think most of the things people say are ghosts are really just them psyching themselves up because they heard that a place was supposed to be haunted, or
I heard something.
Oh, I'm absolutely sure some people are definitely playing it up for the camera.
they have to be.
Everyone knows the last human ghost died 100 years ago.
But 2 women fainting at the exact same spot, unless they were plants, unless they were just like, okay, now you go on this
Just
tour, I go on
extreme
this tour.
coincidence.
I could see it being a strange coincidence. Maybe they both just had maybe everybody in England has really low blood sugar. But
Oh heavens, I'm fainting.
Oh, oh God.
oh dear, I'm falling.
Sorry to every single one of our English listeners who have subsequently unsubscribed.
Usually, if
No.
we pass out in America, it's because we ate too much.
No,
Yeah, it's
so
all the
here's-
diabetes.
My diabetes.
And we
No,
just piss
so-
off every single American viewer, listener.
There are people viewing. They're just staring at their phones.
I got high and watched the
Angrily.
radio.
Okay, wait. The women passing out at the exact same time, that could have been a coincidence or it could have been something spoopy. But I bet that someone heard about that and that's what got I felt something around my neck. It's what is it called? Isn't it like a group panic or
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
yeah,
Mass
it's
hysteria.
yeah, I feel like it's probably a little bit of mass hysteria. Mini mass hysteria?
Minnie Mouse hysteria. We got it. Okay, we got to move on because I have a lot of topics, I think.
Okay.
Not a lot.
Scare
and
me
that's
more.
one that allegedly we have already talked about.
Yes, I think we have. I think I remember talking about it, but it's good to revisit because it is kind of creepy to think of a specter grabbing your throat and throttling you.
God, that sounds hot. Anyway,
Harder,
let's move
Casper.
on to the Spectre of Silver Stick Stairs. Ooh. Do you know about this one, Emily? Jeff?
No, but I know Emily loves anything to do with stairs and scary things.
What does that mean?
You hate the idea of going
Oh,
down stairs that have no
oh.
back to them.
No, they have to have a back to them, or their backs on
yeah,
these
that is
stairs.
scary.
They're freaky. Something monstrous can reach out from the under the stair. Okay, we're gonna stop.
You
talking
who
about
are
that.
just like, I don't believe ghosts really exist.
No,
and you're like,
but
I don't want someone to
murderers
grab my
exist.
feet from behind a backless set of
Murderers
stairs.
exist.
Anyway, so the Spectre of Silver Stick Stairs relates to Jane Seymour, who gave birth to her son, Edward, Edward,
Eddie.
at Hampton Court Palace.
Mm-hmm.
And then she later died like a week later.
Like 12 days later. By the way, happy death anniversary to Jane Seymour on October 24th.
On my 12th
Whackity
day of death,
schmackity
my
doo.
true love.
On my 12th
Now, even
day
though,
of post-birth, my
even though she
Henry
died,
gave
her
to
spirit
me.
is still said to haunt the area that her son was born in.
The stairs?
Not the stairs in the
That's
room.
what was wrong with him. He went down a few flights of stairs after he was
Well,
born.
actually, so the room that she died in and the room that she gave birth in both no longer exist, but the stairs that lead to them do still exist. So hauntings have been reported to happen on the anniversary of Edward's birth.
October 12th.
She's generally seen going up the stairs leading to the Silver Stick Gallery, dressed all in white and holding a taper or a long thin candle. That is what a taper is.
Okay, I was thinking the animal.
Oh,
Isn't
Jeff.
that an African animal?
It looks like a weird.
It's like an anteater capybara type deal.
Yeah.
It's like an anteater and capybara had sex, I think.
And then gave it to Jane Seymour.
And that's how Edward was made.
Now, on top of haunting Silver Stick Gallery, which, by the way, the public is not allowed to go to, so that upsets me a little bit. Jane's ghost has
then
also
who
been
the-
sighted
whoa,
walking
whoa,
around.
whoa. If the public can't go to this tapir or to the wild animal staircase, how do we know
Silver
it's
Stick Gallery,
haunted?
but okay.
How do we know it's haunted?
Because staff have reported seeing shit.
Okay.
They're trustworthy.
All right. So, on top of that, Jane's ghost has also been sighted walking around the grounds of Clock Court, which is my new TV show idea.
All right, tell me about Clock Court.
It's exactly what you think it is. Sentient, living clocks suing the shit out of each other.
In this week, Sundial versus
I don't know, digital.
How many different types? Grandfather.
I like the idea of someone actually just suing the literal concept of time.
Don't give Trump ideas.
That's some galaxy brain shit.
No, don't give Trump ideas.
Anyway, let's
What
move on.
the hell's this daily savings bullshit?
I would sue to get rid of that shit. Anyway.
And now on to my final story about Hampton Royal Court Palace. In 1871, 2 male skeletons were found during a routine excavation in Fountain Court.
Wait,
Nobody's-
in Hampton Court?
Yeah.
I didn't know about this.
Oh, okay. Now, nobody's sure who these two men are or who they would have been, though one mystery was solved following their unearthing and subsequent proper burial. An elderly woman living in a nearby apartment on the grounds was finally relieved that the constant knocking and banging on her walls had finally ceased.
Oh shit, son. We just watched The Orphanage. I know what happens here.
I don't.
Continue. I'll tell you if it's right.
No, that was it. That was the story.
Oh.
Oh God.
But yeah, the two skeletons banging on this poor woman's wall, and she's just, trying to read some shit.
I like the idea of skeletons, not ghosts, but the literal skeletons.
Let us out!
Wait, do we know that we don't know who the skeletons belong to?
Nope.
Where were they found in Hampton Court?
What I think was what I read was, and I don't have the site in front of me right now, but I believe what they said is during renovation, some remains were found, and just they did the old poltergeist thing.
You didn't move the bodies.
That's creepy. I didn't know about that.
Wait, they don't.
Yeah.
Do they know anything about, like, did they identify male or female, young
There
or old?
were two male. This I found on the hrp.org.uk website, which is the Hampton Royal Palace, actual website. So check there.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I
they have
didn't
a
know about
whole.
this.
They've got a whole category just on ghosts themselves, which is pretty sweet.
Oh shit, son.
And skeletons.
Jeff,
Spooky
you
skeletons.
need to stop just staring into the corner of our home.
I'm sorry. The thing is, I'm not like looking at anything. I'm listening.
I know,
So I'm staring
but you're
blankly.
just staring blankly
He's staring
ahead.
off into
It's
space.
horrifying.
Okay.
Also, can you please go close that curtain because there is darkness?
Jeff, next time you're staring off into space, can you just say, "Oh, I'll talk to you later, guys"? What was that, Emily?
Fuck you.
I have something to add to this.
Hold on.
The
Wait,
horrors
let me
of this
tell you-
episode are the ghosts and Jeff and Emily's marriage.
Wait, let me
And
tell
the
you.
things they do to each other.
Let me tell you about the one time that I was able to scare Jeff. So when I was in college, I was spending the night at Jeff's house. Well, my family's not listening, but whatever.
Which house was this?
The second house, Abbott Street.
Oh, I love that
So,
house.
so I was spending the night there, and Jeff said one night he woke up in the middle of the night and he heard banging in the kitchen, and it's like the cupboards were being opened and closed, and then he
Was Sarah
and then-
Ryan.
no. So he realizes I'm not in bed next to him, and then the bedroom door opens, and I just am standing in the doorway, which, if you remember, that house was in a corner.
Yes.
And I'm just standing there, and he goes, Emily? And I run straight at him and jump into the bed and then go to sleep.
Yep.
I imagine I had a different scenario. Like, he's just sleeping, and he's got security cameras up, like in Paranormal Activity, and it's just like a fast forward image of you just like eating a bowl of cereal in his doorway.
See, the easiest way to fuck with Emily is, as we're laying in bed, I look at her,
No.
and then I just look behind her and just look like
Terrified.
terrified.
Stop. You're giving me chills.
Or we'll just sit there and I'll go,
Stop.
"Who's that?"
That's
I'll just point to a
funny.
random place in the room. It's
I'm gonna
great.
start
So
start
easy.
freaking you the fuck out in the middle of the night, making you think somebody's in our house.
You already do.
Well, I'm gonna do it again.
There is someone in your house, and it's your daughter.
She's
Dun, dun,
haunting
dun.
us. She broke in. What the fuck? We put her in the
Ghost
garage.
baby.
Oh, she's not
Okay.
really a ghost if she's just a. Although, if you ever see her crawl really fast, it's kind of scary.
Yeah, and then when she gets on the walls, it's even creepier.
Oh, honey, the baby's on the ceiling again.
Buy me jewelry.
I'll get the broom.
All right.
Down, down, I say.
All right, Garrett. Let's go to the tower. Tell me about the tower. The
Tower of London. So we're gonna go back to a story that comes up a lot on this podcast, probably more than Henry himself. The two princes.
Princes.
Princes. Edward and Richard. We know those guys, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeff
Richard
looks
III was like, "Hey,
confused.
you guys are a
The artist
problem."
formerly known as Princes.
Thank you.
Richard III was all.
Richard III was all like, "Hey, you guys are a threat," and they're like, "No, we are." And then he had them killed and hid them in the tower.
Oh no!
One day.
So, according to legend, guards who were patrolling the what is now known as the Bloody Tower have reported seeing two small figures running down the stairs wearing the same white nightgowns that the boys were last seen in.
Those guards saw those boys in the gowns. The guards are dead too.
Yeah, I imagine they're just like the most foppish looking boys. They're like, tee hee hee, tay hee. Oh, what fun I'm having, Edward. Yes, Richard, this is such a great day.
I'm so glad we get to grow old together as best friends
They're
and
like
brothers.
slowly like holding hands and skipping, but like kind of floating. Now, when confronted, the two ghostly children stand silently, hand in hand, before disappearing into the walls of the tower. So they're like the
Okay,
Shining
wait.
Twins.
This is getting awkward.
No.
Just disappear.
Just like, I'm picturing them on a stairway, and they're coming up the stairs, and the guards are going down the stairs, and the guards are like, "Hey, who's there?" And the boys stop and freeze, and then slowly go into either side of the walls.
I don't think he's seen us yet, Rich.
Don't move. He can't see you, so if we don't move.
I love it. Okay.
Now, have we talked about the Bloody Tower before?
I don't
And how it
know.
got its name?
I don't know. I mean, probably because Henry VIII was there.
Well, the Bloody Tower is believed to be named so after the suicide of Henry Percy in there.
What? What?
That's what I read.
I didn't know he committed suicide. What the fuck? What?
Who's Henry Percy again?
He's the guy who fucked Anne Boleyn and then lied about it and then lied about lying about it and condemned her. Although
the
there were a
legend.
lot of Henry Percys. It could have been his brother or father or something. What? I didn't know he committed suicide. Do you know anything?
Let me look it up.
No, I'm looking it up too. Also, 200,000 crowns is $3.2 million.
Thank you.
That's a lot.
Let's see.
Henry Percy suicide?
The Bloody Tower. This is from englishmonarchs.co.uk.
Death of Henry Percy.
The Bloody Tower is believed to derive its present name from the suicide of Henry Percy, 8th Earl of Northumberland, within its walls in 1585.
Okay. Then it would have been like his son, because Henry Percy, the one I'm talking about, is the 5th Earl of Northumberland.
Oh, easy mistake to make. Sorry, I just got you
so
very excited.
Still interesting.
Weird. Someone else had a name? Henry?
That's shocking.
Look, I don't know the history like you do, so I wasn't
No,
doing like,
it's fine.
oh, that's
I
not
would've-
important.
No, if I had seen, I wouldn't have known off the top of my head 5th Earl versus 8th Earl of Northumberland. Anyway.
Okay, now I have 3 more hauntings I got to go through, and I kind of want to save one for last, but I'm going to let you guys pick what you want next. Do you want to hear about the Queen's House, Lady Jane Grey and Duds, or Henry himself?
Give me Henry.
You want to hear about Henry? This is my fucking favorite. I don't care how true or untrue it is. This is my favorite thing to learn about.
Okay, give me some Hank.
So
Give me
in the
some
White
Hank hauntings.
give it the big Hank.
Give me the hanky panky.
Do you think that's what he said? He had to.
A mouthful of turkey leg.
Say it, don't spray it, hon. Now, the White Tower at the Tower of London. Several visitors. Sorry, let me start this. Several visitors to the White Tower, which is also the oldest structure at the Tower of London, have reported strange phenomenon occurring, all supposedly related to the big man himself. Jesus. Just kidding. Okay. Here we go. When entering the gallery where Henry VIII's suit of armor is stored, several guests have reported feeling an overwhelming crushing sensation.
The fat ghost of Henry.
It's just giving you a hug.
It's just waddling towards you.
Henry, the fattest ghost you ever seen. Her, I'm Henry.
Okay, I love this.
Let's not fat shame Henry VIII's ghost.
want a hog.
I mean, it's pretty easy.
But you do feel an overwhelmingly crushing sensation when you walk in there.
Weird.
So
I feel like I'm
the
struggling
jokes
to
are
breathe
obvious.
and can't get up.
Now, once you
my
leave...
old roommate went there. I should ask her.
Oh.
I'm serious.
It's like, now that you mention it...
I did feel like there was a fatty on me.
Now, when people have left the tower, they said, hey, I don't feel that weird crushing sensation anymore.
Joke's on you. The tower's actually in a submarine underwater. That's why they felt so much pressure.
It's a pressurized room.
Interesting.
Now,
Under Henry.
now this is my other next favorite one. I think you're going to fucking love this.
Okay.
Guards who have Guards who have had to keep watch of the tower have reportedly been attacked by unseen presences.
Attacked
or presence.
how?
One guard was covered and strangled by a heavy cloak that was thrown on top of him. You probably already know this, but by the time he freed himself, he realized it was just him alone in the room.
Creepy. I just got
So
chills
someone just throws a blanket on him.
and ran away.
You're like, hee hee.
Man, that actually gave me chills.
Yeah, that's... This one gives me chills, but it's also fucking hilarious. Ready?
Okay.
Ready? Okay. One guard, who was tired of his patrolling, stopped to take a rest. While he was taking off his shoes, he heard a voice behind him say, "There's only you and I here."
Baby, I'm gonna butter your bread.
And then he felt that crushing sensation, and then, you know. I imagine it... It sounds like either Henry is like trying to hurt these people, pull a stupid prank, or he's trying to hit on them very awkwardly.
Henry's like, finally, it's acceptable to be gay.
Whenever I use that line on people, they get upset.
It's only you and me here.
It's like Henry's trying to ask other ghosts, like, for dating advice, and like, well, I don't know, like, put your coat over their shoulders, you give, you know, the little coal in there, and say, hey, it's just you and me here, baby.
So wait, what happened after Phantom Hank hit on the guard?
Oh, the guard turned around and there was nothing. It was just him.
Is there like a speaker system?
It
Like,
was
could it
Henry's
have been his
ghost.
buddy?
He forgot he
It
was
was
wearing
Henry's
one of
ghost,
those
Emily.
earpieces.
How did they decide it was Henry hitting on the guard?
Because
Slash
it's
threatening.
Because it's the room where Henry's suit of armor is stored.
But aren't there other suits of armor in there?
Yeah, but
Like, couldn't it have been like Charles Brandon if his suit of armor was there, or like
I don't know.
I'm.
But all of them, who'd be the most likely to start hitting on someone?
Yeah, come on.
That's true. I like how we immediately went into he's hitting on him.
I mean,
It's
I'm
not
thinking about like
threatening.
the crushing sensation. He's trying to give you a big ol' hug.
But our first thought is Henry wants to get laid, not
Even
Henry
after
wants
death.
to kill somebody. Even though
Do you-
he did both a lot.
Of any of the English monarchs, which one do you think is trying to get the most ghost poon? It's Henry.
Henry wishes he was Patrick Swayze in Ghost.
The face scene.
That's the crushing feeling. He's going behind you, trying to hold you to do the face thing.
He possesses Whoopi Goldberg.
It's like straight up Whoopi Goldberg.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay. That was my favorite one to research. I loved that one.
That one is delightful. Creepy
one was my
and delightful.
Creepy, hilarious, delightful, everything you could want out of a tutor. I hardly spooked her. Now, let's go on to Lady Jane Grey and Dudley, her betrothed. Now, Jane Grey, as we all know, was only 16 years old when Mary sent her and Dudley to die at the chopping block. This, I think you may have brought this up, but I'm going to bring it up again because it's pretty fucked up. When Jane Grey was in prison, she saw the guards carting Dudley's remains past her room, which is like the most fucked up thing ever.
Hey, I know we could take the shorter way, but let's be fuckers and take the body past her.
Hey, wouldn't it be funny if she got to see her husband one last time? Maybe it was a monkey's paw situation. She's like, I wish I could see my husband one last time.
Monkey's
And then he
paws
just
like,
gets...
"Okay."
His arm, like, falls out of the cart.
I just wish I could hold his hand one more time.
Ah! And spoilers, Jane Grey also got the chopping block.
What?
No.
Now, Dudley's ghost has been spotted sitting around Beauchamp Tower. Beauchamp?
I
Beauchamp.
think the English actually pronounce it Beecham.
Well, we're going to call it B Tower. Silently... Dudley's ghost has been spotted sitting around B Tower, silently weeping for his dead wife. People claim that this specter is the reason the name
Pansy.
Jane...
Pussy.
The name Jane is carved into the walls, which apparently can still be seen today. Yeah.
And there were not very many Janes in that time period, so it could have only have been that one single Jane.
Exactly.
Anyway.
Jane's ghost has also been spotted as recently as 1957 walking along the battlements of the tower.
Quite recently, she was looking for those Soviet spies.
And now we finally have the final two stories, which I didn't have time to clean these up, so these are just direct quotes.
That's okay.
2, this happens at the Queen's house. You know anything about the Queen's house?
Nope.
I'm assuming the
Okay.
Queen's there.
Anne Boleyn. You may have heard of this woman.
Rings a bell.
Her ghost is usually seen near the site of where she was executed, which is now known as the Queen's House, a house Henry built for Anne, and near the altar in the chapel where her body lies. One guard tells a story of seeing a hooded figure approach him in the rooms of the tower. Despite orders to stop, the figure advanced, leading the guard to run it through it with his bayonet. Sorry.
He just fucking shot at the ghost.
Ah! It's like that scene from Ghostbusters where
With
Bill
Bill Murray.
Murray is just going crazy. Oh no, I also like Bill Murray when he gets slimed.
That's by Henry.
That was just what it was like when they were alive.
Now,
I feel so
after
funky.
after running the figure through with his bayonet and realizing it didn't do jack shit, he realized that the figure was missing its head.
How do you not realize that?
Because it was hooded.
I think
What
I
was
think
the
it also
hood
said that
resting
she was
on?
wearing a cloak. She was wearing like a cloak or a shawl or something where you couldn't exactly see her head.
So I'm picturing like running through a ghostly looking figure with a bayonet and then the hood falling down to reveal no head.
What a twist!
Ooh, when was that? I mean, he had a bayonet, so
I mean, that's probably like an old like legend that has been passed down, but I didn't get a time on that one.
interesting.
All right, now like Queen Anne Boleyn, Lady Arbella. You familiar with her?
Arabella Stewart?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of this research stretched out into the Stuarts, but whatever.
Hey, it
Her-
counts.
Yeah, right. Her ghost is said to also haunt the Queen's house. We get a twofer in this place.
Ooh.
The governor of the tower, who lived in those rooms from 1994 to 2006, reported a disturbing event in which his wife was pushed so violently by some unseen force that it propelled her out of the room and into the hallway.
Huh.
That's fucking scary.
Man, Arbella's a bitch.
I want to know when that happened.
Yeah, me too.
Because, like, if it happened, like, in between the times when they started and ended living there, why did they stay?
That was when they decided they were no longer living there.
Can I get the deposit back?
Check, please. Now, others have also reported the Lady Arbella's, her ghost sitting heartbroken on the grounds of the tower, weeping.
Aww.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a sad ending, and there you go. That's it. That's what I got for you.
That was good.
Was it good?
That was nice and spooky. I got chills a couple times.
Yeah.
Nice.
See, like, I can believe the stories where somebody's like, oh, I got pushed by an unforeseen force or something weird happened. But then the second it becomes a tourist attraction to find the ghosts, that's when I stop believing
that's
it
a
all.
problem.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, you know what? Let's do a round table here. Emily, do you believe in ghosts?
Yes.
You do? To what extent?
I don't think they're as common as people think they are.
Okay.
But I believe in, like, energy and spirits and bad vibes and spooky shit.
Okay. Is there like any paranormal activity that you have personally experienced?
Never.
Never?
No. I think it's mostly because of my beliefs, though. Not like I was raised Catholic, but whenever I got scared growing up after like watching a scary movie and then like imagining shit, I always Catholic upbringing prayed the Our Father, and it always made me feel better. And I imagine that comforting myself on that way helped me not see something that probably wasn't there.
Gotcha.
So
I remember after seeing Paranormal Activity with you, both the first one and the second one, and probably the third one, like that fucked me up where like it was impossible to
I
sleep
couldn't
for
sleep.
like weeks after
I don't think
each
I
one of those
watched
movies.
the first one with you. I remember watching that in Fort Wayne, but I remember watching, I mean, not the first time I saw it, but that
Right.
scared the shit out of
Oh
me.
my god, it still freaks me
It
out.
still
Just
freaks me
thinking about
out.
it. I haven't seen it in years, but it freaks me out thinking about it. And the second one too. The second one was
Well, it's
rough because
scary.
it had the baby. There was a dog.
Yep. It's scary because there's no explanation. And I feel like
I
the
mean, eventually
second
there's an
they gave it an
explanation,
explanation, it stopped being scary.
Yeah.
But the concept of just the randomness of it, I think that's probably what scares me. Same with like slasher flicks or anything like that.
Home
when
Invasion.
It's random. I mean, Home Invasion scares the fuck out of me too.
What's that one movie where it ends and they're like, "Why are you doing this?"
The
I'm like, "Well, because
Strangers.
you were home."
The Strangers. That line
Oh,
scares
God.
me every fucking time.
That's good. I've never seen it. I've never seen that scene, but thinking about that gives me chills. That's a really good line.
Creepy, but
Jeff-
no ghosts.
Jeff, do you believe in ghosts?
No,
Not at all.
no,
Do you want to believe in ghosts?
not really.
That's why he doesn't like scary movies. It's
I-
because they're like not scary to him.
Yeah.
What? Okay, so what is it that you find scary?
For
when it
me,
comes to, like
well-
the horror genre?
well,
Like, is
like
it
you-
monsters,
Well,
ghosts?
you brought up to me like the home invasion ones. Those do freak the hell
Like
out of
Hush.
me. Like the ones where it's like the person's sitting on a chair
Stop.
and there's
Ugh.
just someone walking behind them. They don't notice them, but you as the audience see they're there.
Yeah.
I mean, I do also say like, yeah, supernatural movies and stuff will scare me just
It's
because
mostly jump scares.
it's mostly the jump
Yeah.
scares and
I
just the
cannot
plain
fucking stand jump
creepiness
scares.
of the idea of something like that could exist, kind of thing. But I mean, in real life, I don't think they actually do exist. A lot of times, I think it's just people. It's just more. It's fun for a story rather than it really did happen. If there are anything like that, and it can be fun. It's kind of a fun thing to pass down of any kind of story or any kind of explanation for why something happened.
Garrett, do you believe in ghosts?
That's tough. I feel like yes, but there's also like a very irrational part of my brain that's like, Eric, come on, dude, what are you doing?
Okay, here's how I can explain that I don't believe in ghosts, but still kind of believe in ghosts. So my best friend Brittany was visiting a couple weeks ago, and she wanted to go to some antique stores. So we went to one.
Now, sorry for
No,
my
that's fine.
clarification. You and Brittany and Judy, you're all like best friends. You guys are like big into like watching scary movies
Yes.
together, right?
Oh yeah. Like the first time I saw Evil Dead was with Brittany and Judy, and
Okay.
we had like this tradition of watching 3 scary movies every time we were together, like an old school good one, an old school crazy one, and then a modern one. So yeah, best friends, love watching spooky shit together. We didn't go looking when Brittany was visiting. We didn't go looking for spooky shit. She just wanted to look at antique stuff. So we went into one store and I saw some really pretty antique rings. And I asked the guy to open them, and I was like, I don't understand how people get like rid of this kind of stuff. It's so beautiful. And it led to a conversation about hauntings because people are like, oh, they're superstitious. They don't want like bad juju attached to jewelry or anything. I'm like, whatever. Then the guy told us that people have come to him and asked if they could stay the night where he is because this is the antique store in Carmel, Jeff, downtown Carmel. The guy said that there's apparently a corner of the upper part of the building that's supposed to be like noticeably colder than the rest, and it's like just a single, maybe like a 10-foot by 10-foot square or area that you step into and it's colder. And I'm like, well, it's an old as fuck building. Like, maybe the heaters. Like, if that's the thinking we had, then our front room would be haunted because that thing is never regulated. So I don't believe it when people are like, "Oh, I stepped into this area and it was colder." But
That I don't believe, but
I
like
still,
there are moments where like I'm sleeping and just like I just feel like a weird like chill go over my body that feels weird. I'm like, oh, ugh.
I don't think I've ever had that. I have bad dreams that wake me up, but no, but so I wasn't afraid of like stepping into that corner, but then I was like, oh man, I tried on an old dead woman's jewelry. I hope she didn't curse it.
Oh man, I've got a curse now.
Oh man. Our friend's house is also probably haunted.
Yeah, we have
Which,
we have friends. They talk about their daughters. Like, what's the one thing they said? The other daddy is in the office.
Oh god, yeah.
What the fuck?
Oh god, I forgot about that. Oh fuck, why'd you have to tell me that? I don't think I want to let them watch Evie tomorrow.
Who is this?
Our friends Jesse and Steve, they have, not only do they have children, they have twins.
Oh, that's no. That
Yeah.
So
throw
double
them, throw 'em
creepy.
away.
And they told us last time we were picking Evelyn up from from having her babysat, and they proceeded to tell us all these spooky stories about their house being haunted.
First part to say when they got moved in the house, what they found
There was salt along the windowsills.
Oh no.
Yeah.
that, and then at times when she'd be feeding the girls when they were young in her room
They just look up in the corner and start giggling.
in the middle of the night.
And then
I'm getting chills now.
I know. Oh, why'd you have to remind me about the other daddy? God, I'm
Yeah,
glad
but
we
then
have a
I gotta
cross in
hear
our
about the
house.
other daddy.
It's
I
like
gotta hear.
there's an office like, yeah, that's where we see like their other daddy isn't there or
Oh,
something like
I
that.
can't remember exactly what it is. It has something
Somewhere
to
on
do
the
with
lines.
like, oh, then there's another thing. Whenever Steve or Jesse need to sleep in the same room as the girls in their bedroom, Steve, who never ever ever dreams, has very vivid dreams whenever
Whoa.
he's asleep in that one room.
What
And
kind of dreams?
not any particular, like just probably weird.
Okay.
And
Like
then
hard to
Jesse
describe.
won't sleep in that room.
She won't.
No. But she lets her
Nice.
kids.
Yeah, fuck them.
You guys can process this later in your lives. I can't.
I'm already in therapy for so many other things.
I mean, the most fun about them is the fact that Jesse's like a huge Stephen King fan
oh,
too.
huge.
Oh,
Like their
there we go.
ideal is to dress the girls up as the twins from Shining.
I bet they're like, you're having twins, and like,
Yeah.
Pretty much, and the fact they're twin girls on top of
Yeah.
that too is like
oh
even
my
better.
God, Jess is
Yeah.
great.
So
Yeah.
yeah, no, that's what
So,
I think. It's the closest
the
thing.
other daddy. I totally
have a
forgot
friend
about
who would
other
love
daddy.
who would love to talk to them, do an interview for a podcast.
Oh, I can actually we're gonna see them tomorrow. I can ask if they'd like to share that because I think they do like
I think
telling the
that's
stories.
the only time I've ever met
Please.
someone have like real some kind of experience of any kind.
So
'Cause I
I-
hear people all the time like, I heard this bridge was haunted. We went out there at night and went to the bridge and said the thing and nothing happened.
Right.
Hey, if you guys if you're looking for some more spooky podcasting, I want to make a quick plug here. My buddy has a podcast called Strange Heartland,
It's
hosted by my
good.
good friend Mike. It's a good one. He interviews people in kind of in the Midwest area, asks them about their hauntings that they have personally experienced. I am on the second episode from Blood Road, and that's a really good episode. Not just because I'm on it. Just,
No, it's a good one.
He nails that vibe. Like he's a good
So,
host. Strange Heartland. Please listen to it.
Yes, listen to it. I think that most of the time when people talk about hauntings, or like experiencing something, when I hear about it occurring when they're asleep or at night or anything like that, it's probably sleep paralysis. Because I have friends who have sleep paralysis and they've told me about what they experience. And yeah, if you didn't know what was going on, you'd be convinced that you're fucking haunted, but it's not. It's just like the wavelengths of your brain are just like
I think that's why a
firing
lot of stuff
weird ways.
become some sort of like urban legend thing with
Mm-hmm.
ghosts. Is imagine being someone back in the old days with sleep paralysis and having
Mm-hmm.
no explanation for why beyond I'm being haunted.
Yeah.
You know what? If you guys out there listening have any like actual real life like hauntings or like you got some good like serious like no bullshit ghost stories or like things that you think happened to you, please write into us. Send us an email or something, because I want to read that shit.
Absolutely. That reminds me, speaking of our listeners, I got a really cool story from one of our listeners the other day about her Ren Fair. And I wanted to just kind of read off what she said. So, Ashley sent us a message. She said, "Hey guys, after listening to your Ren Fair episode, I wanted to tell my latest Ren Fair story. I'm from PA, so our Ren Fair is located at a winery, which is dope when you don't have to drive. Every season, they do a different story for the Ren Fair, and this year featured the coronation of Elizabeth Tudor. Anyway, it was the last 2 weeks of the season, so they made an all Halloween themed storyline. Basically, Lizzie was getting crowned on All Hallows Eve when Lord Darnley gave her a mirror as a present. Long story short, Robert Dudley said Bloody Mary 3 times, and poof, Mary Tudor popped into the mirror. And so at the big joust at the end of the day, she kidnaps Dudley and brings back a bunch of dead dudes to burn London to the ground because they aren't Catholic. Oh, and Anne Boleyn somehow rose from the dead and was there too to crown Lizzie and flirted with Dudley, who was totally into it. I just found the whole thing fun because no way would super Catholic Mary use magic to burn down her kingdom and called it her new dark powers. It ended with Elizabeth stabbing her sister with a sword because my heart is not stone, it is iron. Anyway, thought you would find that entertaining. Keep up the awesome stuff y'all do. I desperately wish our Ren Fair had stories. Like, even if they're crazy.
Ours is pretty basic when it comes to being a Ren Fair.
Sometimes I feel like you can't even say it's a Ren Fair, but sorry, I was yawning. I wish our Ren Fair had stories. I just wanted to share that. And that's it.
Huh.
Anyway, that's the end of the podcast. Bye.
I'm all spooked out. That was a fun time.
Yeah,
Thank
that
you,
was
Garrett,
a great time.
for taking over the hosting duties.
Actually, yes, Garrett, I do appreciate that. It was kind of a nice change of pace.
Thanks. I hope everyone listening liked my hosting duties.
Got to hear your voice more.
I think
It's
you
my
did
first
it.
time. I'm really shy.
I think you did it. Well, your cherry has been popped, and it is wonderful. So, thank you for that popped cherry.
No problem. Thanks for making that weirder than it should have
For
been.
the cherry.
Emily, how can
Thanks
these fine
to our
people
cherry
find us?
poppin' daddy Garrett. You can find us on Twitter at Tudor Know Her. You can find us on Facebook at Tudor I Hardly Know Her. Send us your lovely stories like the wonderful Ashley did. Also suggestions on episodes and tell us how wrong we are or whatever. You know, you do you. You can also find us on Patreon at Tudor I Hardly Know Her, I believe. I don't know. Just Google Patreon plus Tudor I Hardly Know Her, guys. Like, it's the 21st century.
Well, you'll figure it out.
It's almost the 20s, guys.
We
The Big Bappa.
Also, Gmail, tudorknowher@gmail.com. You guys can send us anything you want.
Emily, what do we got going on in the world of Patreon as of right now?
We have a book club that we're doing. We also have, so there are various tiers. Everybody who joins Patreon gets bonus episodes, and we just had a pretty fun bonus episode the last time. So, we'll be getting a new one out again shortly on that. You can also join at a tier to, be part of the Q&A session, join the book club, or if you're a high roller and you want to get some sponsorship, you can pay for the highest tier. Either way, if you donate $1, $50, $500, $500,000, we're broke. Please give us money. You get bonus episodes. So
the case.
I'll accept $5,000.
Yep. How much further is in the book club at this point?
Well, it should be soon.
If you're part of the book club, hit us up. Let us know how far you are in this book.
Yeah. Yes, please.
We can start finalizing this. Get ready.
Yes, please. Trying to be better. Trying to get life in order, guys.
Be gentle. This is our first Patreon.
Also, life is difficult.
Life is
so,
very difficult.
Trying to balance it all. Trying to give you all what you want. But truly, we appreciate anybody who is a patron. We appreciate all of our listeners, frankly. It's really cool that we get to do this. And even when I need a break and the lovely Garrett is able to take over, it's still fun to have so many awesome listeners who are fascinated by the same types of historical silliness that we are.
You know what I want to know? Where the hell are people finding us? People keep saying like, "Oh, hey, I just found your podcast."
I don't know.
Where? Who are you people? Where are you coming from?
I mean,
Who are you?
I just always looked up keywords, so I try and put them in the podcast topics. So maybe
Google
that-
alert for Garrett.
That's exactly what I have going. That's what a lot
Sweet.
of people have going. It's weird. So I think until next time,
Until next time.
Divorce Beheaded died.
Divorce
Behead
behead survived. Whoa.
Goodbye.
Blah,
or
blah,
should I
blah,
say
blah.
good boo?